What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about what could be potentially happening tomorrow with none other than the Federal Open Market Committee of June. And as usual, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I am going to film this video with my friend Mario. What's up, bro? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Alva? How you been?
How you been? Good?
Good, man. Not bad. Not bad.
You birds are having fun once again, right? The markets are crashing, man.
Can't complain. It's good.
I told you about my put option of the SPY. That's unbelievable, Mario. So I purchased that put back on May 20th, I think, the day that the S&P bottomed out in May. So we went up almost to 2,200 points. That put, I left that put open as a hedge against a call option that I purchased of Tesla, a very expensive call option. I ended up paying $13,000 for that call. I closed that call making something like $4,000, so it was a very nice trade. And that put was meant to expire out of the money. And last week, that put was down $2,200. That's unbelievable, man. And I ended up closing that put today, making a profit of $320. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a wild market, bro.
It is indeed.
Yeah, very, but very well. So, Mario, Federal Open Market Committee. Tomorrow, so at 2 p.m., we're going to have the Fed fund rate decision. And then at 2:30 p.m., Jerome Powell is going to be holding a press conference. That is going to be very important for the markets. So what do you think is going to happen? The markets as of now are thinking about a 75 basis point hike. Tomorrow, we have a 90% likelihood for that to be the case. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I do believe if they have balls, they will raise it to 75. Anything about that, I'll be surprised as well. Like if we gave a 100 basis point rate hikes like what Bank of England did a while back, I'll be surprised if that happens, but I won't be surprised at all if they just come out and say we're just going to raise it to 50 basis points.
The markets are going to crash if that happens.
Mainly because of energy and food. Yeah, I'm not putting it past Jerome Powell, by the way.
So you're not ruling out a 50 basis point hike?
Now 50 or 75 is what I'm expecting. So let's see if he has balls to do 75.
So let's say that, and according to your opinion, obviously, let's say that they do 50 basis point, a 50 basis point hike. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the reaction of the markets is going to be looking like?
Market is not going to like it, man, because markets are already losing trust on Federal Reserve on their way of like tackling inflation. Them pussyfooting right now and like raising the interest rates like 50 basis points. It's like, why? You got to step up your game and show the market that you actually care about inflation. So 50 basis points is going to be a disaster. If they do 75 basis points as expected, markets might wobble a little, but we will see some short covering and we will push higher for a while. But 100 basis points, we're going to dump and market is going to like it later.
Yeah, so the problem here is the credibility of the Fed, right? So far, they have been wrong all day long, like absolutely wrong. Inflation wasn't transitory. Inflation didn't peak as they were suggesting like 1 or 2 months ago. So now they are dealing with a credibility issue. And according to my opinion, if they do a 100 basis point hike, that is going to be great for the market. Yeah, obviously we're gonna dump probably, and we're gonna go over some possible scenarios when it comes to that possibility. But the markets are going to end up liking it because finally the Fed is going to be sending out a message that they are doing what it takes, that they have what it takes in order to control inflation, which is the main concern of the markets. Right?
Bring back Volcker.
Correct. We don't want Paul Volcker, to come over anytime soon. And on top of that, I am also thinking, Mario, about the length of this new cycle of interest rates hikes. So, the more aggressive that the Fed can carry out the interest rate hikes, then the shorter that this process is gonna be. So we might have a pivot of the Fed maybe in September, maybe in December.
Mhm.
And if they keep on doing these kind of, let's say, not so aggressive hikes, then for how long this process is going to last? What are we talking about? Maybe, I don't know, mid of next year, I don't know, maybe 2024. So I think that the markets want as of now, they want a more aggressive Fed that can that can actually reduce inflation, and by doing so, we might have a pivot sooner rather than later. Maybe even this year, right?
Yep.
Because take a look at the 2-year Treasury yield, Mario. It is sitting at
We inverted, right?
3.4%. That's unbelievable.
Yep.
So that's the main reference for the Fed.
They gotta increase it above that. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen by this year, man. Like, see, by knowing the Fed until this time, it's just like either they're gonna do the 50 basis points and they're gonna stick to their narrative and then like bullshit us and bullshit themselves along the way, or they might go to like 75 basis points and then like, carry on with 75 and then tell the markets that we will raise 100 basis points if necessary if the inflation didn't come down.
No, come
So
on, man. I mean, that's that it is already June, so we want action, Mario. We want
watch them do
decisive
this.
action from the
Tomorrow
Fed.
on the minutes, they will, if they raise 75 basis points, they will say the next meeting we will raise 75, and if the inflation didn't come down, we'll raise 100 basis points. But if the inflation do come down, we will reduce it to like 50 or 25. So that's what they're gonna say. So most likely that's what's gonna happen.
So
So
what do you
market
think? What do you think is going to happen in July and September?
depends on next month's CPI, to be honest. So
It's
if
going to be
next month's
nasty, Mario.
CPI,
It's going to be nasty. Oil is sitting at $120.
yeah, we have to see if it stays at 120 by end of this month though. So by end of this month, if it stays over that price, then like possible. Another nasty report, 100 basis points, repricing again, another big 3-day dump like this continuously. And looks
Yeah.
like you can get your next 360 puts right now.
Say, I know that this is a tough question for you because you are a bird, right? But say that the Fed is actually very aggressive. Let's just put it that way, right? Say that we get a 100 basis point hike tomorrow. We have 75 a 75 basis point hike in July, and then we have another 75 basis point hike in September. Do you think that is gonna actually work
Yeah.
out against inflation?
Yeah, it does. Like, because the more aggressive you go, it's going to take a while to see the impact in the CPI data, but I'm
So
pretty sure
when
it
do you
will slow
see
the demand
this
down.
is a tough question for a bear. When do you see inflation coming down?
Not anytime soon.
Come on,
Not anytime
Mario.
soon. No.
No,
Until I
really.
see the data, I can't make any predictions. So for now, I don't see it coming down anytime
Even with
soon.
the Fed hiking rates.
If they hike interest rates, and then I mean, bro, to be honest with you, I've been seeing news lately. A lot of companies today alone, I saw 3 companies letting go of like at least 8 to 18% of their
Yeah,
workplace.
we had
They're
Coinbase,
firing.
Warner Bros, and Redfin.
Coinbase,
Yeah,
Redfin,
cutting
Warner
jobs.
Bros.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's
that's gonna follow. Like as I said in last video, I told you Tesla kickstarted. A lot of other companies are gonna follow it. There are gonna be a lot of unemployments. Job market is gonna crash, and once that happens, recession will follow, which in turn reduces the demand, which in turn brings down the inflation. So, but the problem is if the inflation didn't come down when the job market is collapsing, that's where we have an issue. So if Fed does what it has to do, they're not hiking interest rates in a booming economy. They're hiking interest rates in a kabooming economy, like as Mav says, right? So if the inflation didn't come down, even after them raising the interest rates and the demand is already slowing, we'll be in a terrible stagflation in the upcoming days. So got to keep an eye out for what they're doing.
Okay, but if they are very aggressive, we can agree on the fact that that inflation is going to come down. Obviously, it's going to come down. It is going to come down. That's what
I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Like if they're aggressive and the economy is booming, that's totally different. If they're aggressive when an economy is already slowing down, that can have multiple implications. So we gotta wait and watch.
Yeah, but and that's another option. Maybe inflation comes down, but at the same time we have a spike when it comes to unemployment. So they might pivot in that in front of that situation that might happen. maybe maybe by late summer, maybe during the fall, if we happen to see unemployment going up like crazy. But I believe, and obviously I am a bull, Mario. So I have a bias over here. I think that if unemployment goes up and if they are very aggressive hiking rates, I believe that maybe in September, October, November, the latest, we are going to see inflation coming down, and that might be a signal for the Fed in order to pivot. So I do see inflation coming down this year, at least. I don't know, at least during the fall. We'll see what ends up happening with that situation, obviously. But
I mean, even I want inflation to come down, man. So let's see if whatever they do are working or not. I better hope it does. So we gotta wait and watch.
yeah, obviously I want inflation. I want inflation to come down, and I want the Fed to pivot anytime soon. And that's why I want the Fed to be aggressive tomorrow. I don't want a dovish Fed. I no longer want a dovish Fed. It isn't working out. Yeah, the bond markets, the bond market is yelling at the Fed, like, "Hey, you're fucking wrong. Stop doing what you're doing. You're like you're making a huge mistake, and our stocks are paying a high price for that." So the bullshit of the bullshit of the dovish Fed. Yeah, I'm fed up with that. Like, that's it. Go ahead, do your job, hike interest rates, and yeah, let's bring inflation down. That's basically what I am thinking about. Mario, when it comes to taking trades tomorrow, it's gonna be a very, very volatile afternoon for the most part.
Yep.
In the morning, we might see some sort of sideways action for the most part. Okay, what are you thinking about in terms of trading? Let's talk about SPY and Triple Q.
Bro, I mean, last FOMC we had a VIX of like what 28 or 29, and that time we've had like volatile swings to like 10-point swings to the upside and downside.
Yeah.
Right now VIX is at 32. So imagine how mad tomorrow is going to be.
Okay, but hold. Okay, let's go over 3 possible scenarios. 50 basis point hike. What is going to happen? What will you do?
So if it's a 50 basis point hike, I won't be surprised if we make a new low tomorrow. So there'll be a big candle breaching 370, marching us all the way back to 363 by close. So I won't be surprised at all if that happens. If it's a 75 basis points.
Taking into account that the indices are kind of oversold, and I'm in my opinion they are very oversold, but you don't like the relative strength index. So if we are oversold, let's don't debate whether we are very oversold or not. So, but we are at least a bit oversold. So, taking into account that we are oversold, where do you think, in case of a dump, if we either get a 75 basis point hike or a 100 basis point hike, where do you think the bulls are likely to find support at?
If we do dump, imagine just say 370 to act as support to the downside if we do dump, or 368. So these two levels, if they print a fat red candle and then market digest a news saying that, wait, 100 basis points, they're actually doing something. They actually grew some balls and they're doing something to fight inflation. And that will start some short covering rally to the upside. And we can easily see the gaps getting filled. And then after 2 days, they'll come to a realization that, wait, they're not raising it in a booming market. They're raising it in a market which is already slowing down. And then we'll see what happened like 2 FOMC minutes before, like huge rally after FOMC, and then reversing everything in the next 2 days with the 5% days in the upcoming Thursday and Friday.
Okay, so 50 basis point, we are going lower. Obviously, the Fed isn't doing enough. Inflation is still going to be out of control. Perfect. 75 basis point, what do you think?
Flat.
SPY.
Like, it depends on what the shorts are planning on doing. So if they start to cover after the 75 basis points, we will see a short covering rally to fill the gap to the upside at around 389 or 390 to the upside. So that's possible. Like over here, 390 is what I'm watching for the first gap fill. So if the market do like what the Fed is saying, if the market reacts in a positive way, we can just go back, fill all these gaps at 401 or 398 or like 395. And then that
would be a massive rally, Mario. A massive rally, right?
Of course, yeah, possible.
I mean, if we see short covering, that's in the cards, right?
Yeah,
we cannot rule out this possibility, right?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm not ruling out anything in any possibility. I'm open to a short covering rally, actually. We will go up to fill those gaps. Those gaps will get filled eventually. It's just a matter of when. Is it going to happen by this week or it's going to happen in upcoming weeks? So that's the question.
Are you placing any trades before the Federal Open Market Committee, before 2 p.m.?
I do have some trades in Amazon. I'm taking that as a hedge. So I got calls and the call debit spreads on Amazon for 109 strikes and calendar spreads on Amazon. I'm playing it with Amazon, like not with SPY and QQQ. Premiums are insane.
Okay. So, and what about tomorrow? Are you getting SPY puts or calls before the FOMC? I mean, we can make the case, Mario. This is an earnings report. So tomorrow the S&P 500 is going to be posting earnings. Let's just put it that way. And the CEO of the S&P is Jerome Powell. Let's just put it that way. The S&P is posting earnings tomorrow. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to be gambling on a possible outcome, right? So are you planning on doing something before 2 p.m.?
I personally not planning on gambling on anything. So I'm first watching for the reaction from the SPY after the Federal Reserve. I'm waiting until Powell finished talking until 3 o'clock, because sometimes we get the initial reaction and then once Powell talks, that reaction fades away. And after he finishes talking, then we will see the real move in the SPY.
Yeah, markets are going to be paying close attention to the narrative of Powell.
Yep. The questions and the narrative.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so 50 basis point hike, we're going lower, like a lot lower, I agree on that. 75 basis point, maybe the markets can wait for Powell, Mario, in order to pick a direction. Maybe the markets can wait until the press conference, which is going to start at 2:30 p.m. to check on the narrative of Powell. 1% hike, we are going lower for sure, and the markets might end up digesting a 1% hike in a positive way. Like, okay, finally the Fed is doing what they should have done way before, right?
Yep.
Okay, when it comes to triple Q, if you were to take a gamble over here, or if you were to start a trade, what would you be thinking about?
Triple Q, we held on to 274, which was yesterday slow. It was just a consolidation session. Same stuff. Like if we do get some bullish news, we can go ahead and fill the gap to the upside at 288.70. If we have a short covering rally, that is. So the gaps will be filled. We have a big gap at 288.70. From if we break above 281, we can easily go to fill the gap at 288. And if we do break about 293, we can easily go back to fill the gap at 300.
That would be a massive rally there. Massive rally.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay.
100%. Okay. So imagine how bad it will be. Like, how beautiful it will be. They just close the week flat above the range, or like going back to run a test to like the 20 SMA. So it's still will be a lower high, but still a good rally, good bounce from the lower but downside after the carnage which we had.
Yeah. And by the way, we need to keep a close watch on the on TNX tomorrow, Mario. The 10-year Treasury yield, which has been an absolute tear, tear. And in my opinion, Mario, if tomorrow we happen to have a 75 basis point, I mean, if we happen to have a 75 basis point hike, I don't know about the reaction of TNX, because that is going to be like, okay, the Fed is doing a bit more. That's fine. They are, gaining back their credibility, right? If we happen to see a 100 basis point hike, this thing is going to collapse, in my opinion. And from a mechanical standpoint, whenever the 10-year Treasury yield jumps, that obviously brings some relief towards higher multiple stocks, growth stocks, and tech stocks in general terms. So
the market will start repricing the expectations
for inflation. Correct. So 100 basis point hike, this thing is gonna collapse, in my opinion. Like collapse. 75 basis point hike.
Sell the news.
Could be, and we need to wait for Powell to see the way that he is speaking, right? And 50 basis point hike, this is gonna go to the moon, Mario. To the moon. I mean, I don't know, another galaxy. And by the way,
Yeah.
when it comes to the 10-year Treasury yield, we have a very horrible gap up to 4%, Mario. Check that out.
2008, most likely that's the time frame which we're watching at. Oh shit!
Can
I
you
don't even
figure
have the
that?
chart.
TNX going up to 4%, man. Oh man,
I
that
think
would
that's where
be
we are, right? Like
yeah, it would be
around
a
2008.
killing, Mario, a killing of tech stocks, higher
Oh
multiple
yeah,
stocks, and so forth, right?
get wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, ARK Invest is gonna see, I don't know, $20, $25.
Yeah, let it see. I let it see. I say it's what happens if you keep buying it with the blindfolds on.
So keep a close
We
watch
have a
on.
gap over there. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be. We need to. We're gonna have to keep a close watch on both TNX and also the Dixie, Mario, which has been on an absolute tear. And if the Fed happens, I think that the Dixie is gonna be a tricky one, Mario. It should go higher if the Fed is very hawkish.
Which should the dollar?
Yeah, the Dixie.
The dollar will
That
drop
strengthens the
soon, bro.
dollar, Mario, when the Fed is very restrictive when it comes to monetary policy. So the Dixie is going to be an interesting one to see tomorrow, and TNX, needless to say, is going to be the main actor in tomorrow's movie by far. And I hope,
Yep.
in my opinion, bro, and I'm a bull, but I hope for the Fed to do at least a 75 basis point hike, man. If they do
Well,
100 points, I'm gonna be very happy, man. Like
they're
very, very happy.
gonna cause riots in the streets if they do the 50 basis point hikes, man. Not gonna lie.
Bro, I would be so disappointed, and we're gonna see a massive crash, man. If that happens, we're gonna see a massive crash in the markets. Oh boy, I don't even want to think about that. So thank you very much, bro, for being
Oh,
here
it's
with
fine.
me. Let me, by the way, I cannot. You need to
Now,
yeah. Let me.
let me stop sharing.
There
And
you go. So how's your patron doing, man, on your YouTube channel?
Hey, not bad, man. Like we hit 550 subs. That's a good thing
There
on
you go,
YouTube.
man.
So 450 more to go to 1,000. And
Awesome.
Patreon is doing really good as well.
And
So
you started out your YouTube channel not long ago. It has like
a
2
month
months,
ago.
a month and a half or so.
A month,
Yeah, I mean,
month and
you're-
2 weeks. Yeah.
There you go. And tell us about your latest video.
The last video was just about the market recap and
I saw Janet
how-
Yellen on the thumbnail.
yeah, how delusional we are. And these people think American public as some sort of fools. They gaslight us into thinking that everything will be all right. Like everything is fine, nothing to see here, disperse. Like what the hell? Everything is not fine. From inflation is transitory, it became to inflation is not transitory, and then it became to like
Inflation is peaking.
inflation will be persistent, but it will come down to 2%. Two, we hope inflation will come down now. What the hell? Like bro, anyone with a second year of economic degree can tell what's going on. And how did you miss it? You're the chair of Federal Reserve. Like how can you not see what a regular person can see? So yeah, it's
in the case of Janet Yellen, yeah, just she's in
she
charge
needs to
of
go,
the Treasury. Yeah.
yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go, man. Like she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
Yeah, most
And
people
on the Congress,
most people in this administration don't know what they're doing. So I mean, let's don't get political here, obviously. So
yeah, no, it's not political, man. It's just facts. They don't know what they're doing. So it's like on the Congress, like when they had the committee, why is she talking about gun control and climate change? Like that's not your job. Tell us what you're gonna do about
that's
inflation.
part of their job, but we have
No.
greater problems than gun
No,
control.
bro.
And
Their mandate is to stable prices and stable employment. So don't stick to these two. When Fed divert their attention to climate change, gun control, and all those stuff, why? That's not your job. Like racial equality is not your job. Like it's just it's not to blame Powell, man. Like he's just answering what
when
questions
he goes to
been asked,
Congress,
but-
I mean, congressmen ask him about a lot of dumb questions, right?
exactly
And questions
exactly.
that are not directly linked to his
That's
job.
not even
right?
their job. Yeah,
Correct,
that's your
correct.
job.
Yeah, I agree
As
on
a
that. I
congressman,
agree on
that's
that.
your job. Yeah, it's just like that, man. Like I just went over my frustrations and went it all out in the last video.
Yeah,
Along with
and
the
you went out
analysis
your
and fact.
frustration through your videos with those very, spicy thumbnails. Tell the guys about your Patreon, Mario.
Yeah, I do have a Patreon. I do post daily updates on SPY, TTQ, and my trade ideas every morning before market opens. So we do have a great community in Discord as well,
yeah.
and Alva is a
Great
part of
community.
it as well. So
Absolutely.
go ahead, check it out. Link is down
Yeah,
below
the
in the
links are down
description.
below in the description box of the video. So, guys, thank you very much for your attention. And tomorrow's going to be a wild, wild day. Next
indeed.
Thursday, we're going to be talking about quadruple witching. We have quadruple witching on Friday. So that is going to be another insane episode of the market. So
100%.
thank you very much for for joining me today, Mario. See you on Thursday. Bye, guys. Take care.
Take
Have
care,
a good
man.
one.
Bye-bye.